Hello, everybody. It's the last Wednesday of 2021. Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday. Hope all is well with everyone. My name is Corey Sanders. I go by the name of Tallboy, and we're here to talk tech news. Hope all is well. I see Hit the Spot 1006 is here, and she's saying, hey, awesome wood things. He's in the building. The Digital Growth Hack Club, he's in the building. Uh-oh. I hear you. Let me see. Did the comments come up? Still no comments. I'm still having problems with the comments coming up. Why is that happening to me every single time? But it's all good. I will figure that part out. And there it is. I see what I did wrong. But anyway, we're here to talk tech news. I think we have a fun, field packed show today. And I hope that you guys will be enjoying today's show. All right. So it's still not coming up the way I want it to come up. Look at God over here messing up. That's the devil working, not God. That's not the devil. I can't get this right. I don't know why I can't get these comments to pop up on the screen. All right, let's see. What do we have here? Do we have it now? There we go. So I'm not going to hold you guys too long. I want to go ahead and get started. I want a not being late gift today, please. Okay. Hello, everyone. Is coming from Lisa Marie. Rich Vibe says, hey, hey, hey. So what's going on, Rich? Today we have a guest. She is a beautiful lady. I don't know what part of the Middle East she's from, but she is heavily into tech. And for those that do not know, she will be at CES and she's actually serves on one of the boards. But this lady has been in the tech game for so long, and I'm not saying that she's very experienced, but she's an entrepreneur. She got started in fashion, if I'm correct, but transitioned with Beats by Dre, Monster Cables, and now she's with Austere. And without further ado, let me go ahead and bring in Miss Deena Ghazarian. How are you?
I'm great, tall boy. How are you?
I'm all
Hello.
right. Hey, there you go. Look at you. So, how was your Christmas? Did you get any cool things for tech?
I did. Christmas was fantastic. Thank you. We did a lot of tech for Christmas this year in our household. New 7 Series Apple Watch went
Okay.
down.
Okay.
Uh, Husband got a 13 Pro Max for Christmas.
Okay.
I got
Okay.
these very cool, being in the start of what you would call the revolutionary headphone business. I'm still kind of into headphones. They're these cool Urbanista headphones, but what's amazing about them is this is actually a solar charging headband. So I never have to charge these guys. As long as they're in light or outside, they are constantly charged in their Bluetooth headphones. So pretty cool new technology that's out there and up and coming. I know a lot of brands on the audio side, they're actually starting to come out with more of what is this kind of like solar charging. It'll always be charging headphone. So kind of neat. I'm really excited to play with these.
Okay. That's pretty cool. That's what's
What'd
up.
you
So,
get?
what did I get? Okay. So, I kind of got one of my gifts very early. I got the Ray-Ban stories, Facebook stories.
Oh,
So now
yes.
you can take your phone calls, you can take pictures and 30 seconds worth of video on your phone. And then I also I have some big things planning for me in 2022. I'm going to go ahead and speak that into existence. So I invested in one of these things from Benji Lock. Let's
Oh,
see the
supporting the Robbie. We love Benji Lock.
So I got one of
Yay.
these, and I can't wait to utilize that. So it was a very quiet but tech. Yeah, I had a little tech, and then everyone knows if you want to do anything for me for Christmas, help me offset my cost to CES because we know how expensive it is. So help
It's
me
so
with a
expensive.
hotel room, help me with the
Yeah.
flight, just help me with anything because we all know how expensive it is. And I'm just an independent guy that just loves going there every year. And unfortunately, I don't have those big dollars that, the Samsungs and the BMWs have as a corporate entity. So I just got to get out there and make it happen the best way I know how. But I create great
Yeah.
content.
It's the best show on the planet. Like I've been going for 20 some odd years. You can't beat CES.
How long have you been going?
Over 20 years. I'm embarrassed to even say that, but over 20 years.
Oh my God. Like, man,
Yeah.
I am so jealous. Like, I'm waiting to get my 10-year badge. It was so funny. And we're going to move forward. I'm looking to get the stash stock party up, guys, and it's not coming up. But I will tell you what today's product offering is. Um,
Hey. I
um,
love Mama D. That is my nickname. Whoever called me Mama D, that is totally,
no,
I
no,
am
that's
Mama.
actual. No, no, that's actual
Oh, is
Mama
that
D.
another lady on the call? Is Mama
Yeah,
D?
yep.
I
And
love
she lives
it.
in
Oh my God.
and she lives
We're
in
twins.
California. Believe it or not.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh,
Yep.
very cool.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. The stash stock party is not coming up right now, but if you're familiar with it, it is Red Robin Gourmet Burgers. So if you know the restaurant Red Robin, you get an incremental stock if you sign up between now and 9 p.m. Log on to party.stash.com and claim your offering. I'm pretty sure the text will come out in a moment, but it's not here yet. So make sure you go ahead. And for the ones that are not familiar with the Stash Stock Party, if you're not familiar with investing, this is your opportunity to own a piece of incremental stock absolutely free. All you have to do is go to stash .com and sign up. And my link is in the bio. And if you would like to use my link, I think you get $20 or $25. If not, you can sign up on your own. And every Wednesday and one day out of the weekend, you get a stash party, and you can own a piece of incremental stock. So if you're not familiar with investing and you want to get into it, feel free to learn how to invest. And when you're ready to start spending some money, you already have some companies that Stash is giving you for free, absolutely at no charge. All right. So we're here to talk tech news. Are you ready to talk tech news? I mean,
Let's
are
go.
you doing this?
I love it.
Oh, okay. Trevor Nichols says he's checking in. He's saying good evening. But we're gonna go ahead and get this party started. It's the end of the year, guys. It's the end of the year, and we have to do a little housekeeping. And I'm not trying to preach to you, but it's on you. I'm just throwing it out there. It's on you to do this. But 7 essential online security and digital tasks you should do before 2021 ends. Now, I'm not telling you that you got to get out there and do all of them, but I am saying that you need to look at some of these. And we're only going to go through a few of these because I want to talk to Deena about what she has going on over there with Austere, okay? Number one, change your passwords. You don't want to get hacked. Come on. We don't want to get hacked going into 2022 saying, how did I get compromised? This is like, I know you love your same password, but let's just switch it up going into the new year. Write it down, put it in that drawer, put it in your phone, put it somewhere safe that you and only you know where it is, and any other loved one that you would like to have that. Any thoughts on that, Deena?
Yeah, so Corey, you'll love this story. My husband's horrible at it. Like he will not do it. So again, his Christmas present was a new Apple 13 Pro Max. And so when I updated it for him, I actually purposely chose not to have the passwords go over. So for the last day, he's been manually redoing new passwords on everything because I kind of forced his hand. But it was the right thing to do. It's really scary, actually, how much businesses are getting hacked and how those passwords are leaking out and what's happening with that. So in an all serious note, it is absolutely something you should consider doing once a year at a minimum. And if you're really good about it, maybe once every 6 months.
And look at this comment here. Awesome Wooding says, my password is
Oh
password.
yeah,
Ha
no.
ha. Ha. Well, don't tell us that.
No,
I
no.
mean, well, now it might have to be password one or something like that.
One. Yeah, $1 sign. There
All
you go.
right, something like that. All right. Number two, real briefly. How about let me see if I can bring that down just a little bit. You might want to uninstall the surplus of apps. Go through your phone. Go through your phone, uninstall those apps that you're not using. It's eating up your space on your phone. And when you say my phone is bogged down or I don't have enough memory, this is a great time. You got what, 2, 3 more days before we go into the new year. Just go through your phone and see what you're not using. I'm pretty sure that there's something out there that you're not using. Do you have any apps that's your favorite right now, Deena?
Um, yes, absolutely, I do. I would say I'm a big Insta, so I'm all about Instagram and using Instagram a lot, not only for business but personal to keep in touch with family and friends. Uh, I use Zoom a lot, but again, we'll talk probably more about that in regards to just managing a business remotely. And stuff like that. And then my one like secret kind of, oh my God, keeps me great and mentally kind of in check is I downloaded this new app. It's called Word Trip. And basically it's the memory game to kind of keep you sharp where you actually have to figure out the words and the way that it goes within a certain amount, kind of like a hangman in a weird sort of way. So it's kind of my keep myself sharp, allows me to zone out, but do something good for the brain.
Okay. All right. So, is there one that's on your phone that you can briefly look at and see that you're not using or you could probably get rid of?
Yeah, I actually am really good about this. So my rule is if there's an app that I haven't used for 3 months, it goes kind of thing. And
Wow.
if I really need it back, I'll have to re-download it, right? And then I know it's probably something I should have. But I actually pretty good about doing that and deleting what I don't use pretty often.
Okay.
I would say like, I did one a long time ago where I installed an app for the car where if I ever wanted to get access to our car, you can unlock it, do whatever. I never use it. So I'm like, why even bother? So deleted it. It's just one of those things. But I do give it 3 months to see if there's some active use. And then if not, bye.
Okay. Moving forward, number three, review your finances. Check those subscriptions. You guys know how I feel about subscriptions. I'm trying to do SaaS products, and I see I have some of the SaaS members that are in the group right now, and we're all about software as a service. I'm not trying to pay for subscriptions. So if you have a streaming service, if you have just one of those things that renews every year, are you really using that app? Are you really using that service? Think about that. That could be 9.95, 14.95, 2.99. That could save you some money over a course of 12 months. Um, are you into subscriptions or no, Deena?
No, I'm like you. I don't like them unless you really, really have to have it. I don't know if you guys have ever come across it's a newer app. It's called Truebill. You don't have to subscribe on the there's two versions of it. There's a free version that will just do a scrub that tells you what your subscriptions are. So you can choose to either not subscribe anymore and or delete or stay with it. And then there's another one where it does a little bit more of your finances and manage your finances throughout the year, but that's a paid upgrade. I use the Truebill one every once in a while just to double check to make sure I don't have any secret subscriptions out there that I've forgotten about that I want to delete. So
And
it's
it's
actually a
called
pretty good app to use for that.
and it's called True.
Truebill, Truebill. Yep, Truebill.
All right, guys, y'all heard it. Check those renewal dates. Remember, you may have signed up for something earlier, and when you signed up for something earlier, it may renew on the first of the month of January, and then all of a sudden you're hit with another 99.99 or 59.99. And then you're gonna be like, man, I wasn't even using that. So you got 3 days, guys. I'm just trying to help you out. I'm just trying to save you some money. We're trying to break this down. I mean, and this is just doing a simple clean. That's it. And speaking of simple clean, what about cleaning up your system? So I mean, I'm just being honest. Clean up your system. I mean, you have your desktop, you have your phone. Why not go in and just clean up your system? There could be some stuff that's in your recycle bin that you have not deleted just yet. And you might want to just go in there and clean that up. Maybe uninstall some programs that you're not using on your PC or on your Mac. And everybody knows how I am about Macs, so I'm not a big fan of them. But I'm pretty sure you guys have your own cleaning system. Whereas I think at the bottom of number five, it shows you how to do it. And for the ones who are not paying, who are watching on YouTube, the articles are in the description of the video, so you can follow along with us as well and check out and stay on point with us with this. So do you have any issues with your system? Is it too slow for you, or you have like the latest and greatest when it comes to PC, Deena?
I do have the latest and greatest when it comes to PC, but I'm much like you. A slow computer just kills me. I am often in there deleting what's not being used, trying to keep it as clean as possible. You just have to be so efficient nowadays, and having a computer that slows is just like I can't. It's hard to function for me.
Right,
So
right.
I'm a big believer in the cleaning up of your system.
Let's see. Let's see. Browse app settings. What does that mean? Let's see. Take the time to browse your device, antivirus, and VPN settings, and make sure that they're set up to suit your needs. If you remember setting the VPN kill switch on, for instance, if that's still the case, or if your antivirus configured, is your antivirus configured properly, and you have cloud backup, is it protecting everyone you expect? So just go and browse all the backed up files, make sure it is, or it has the most up-to-date versions, and you should be good to go. Now, and then I think the last one here that we have is visit your account dashboards. So basically, if you, let's see, the dashboard, log into a few of your web accounts and just look at the dashboards. Often they'll have notifications for changes that you may really want to know. And if you don't see anything, look at the personal detail page and make sure everything is correct. So you never know if there's an app or if there is some type of VPN. There may be some new changes some of your accounts, and just make sure you know what's the new changes because we never really read the fine print. So just keep that in mind. Anything else, Deena?
Nope, these are good ones. I would say the only other one that I would do, just because you and I went through it earlier, somehow I must have installed like a camera app that I never use, and then it almost took over this actual podcast that we were going to do. If you recall, the Snapchat thing was
Right.
there, and I don't even use it. So finding those things and deleting them so it doesn't prohibit you from participating the way that you should, kind of thing.
There it is.
But I absolutely agree on all that.
Shout out to Love Audio Production and Rich Vibes. They're both in the UK right now, and it's after
Oh
2
wow,
a.m.
damn, yeah.
Checking us out. So I definitely appreciate you guys, Paul and Rich. Thank you so much for staying up as you are doing your thing over there in the UK. And believe it or not, Deena, they're both awesome DJs. Rich Vibes has
Oh,
a
awesome.
show on Mixcloud on Sundays, and then Rich and Paul Love Audio Production. He's actually on radio in the UK, so we
Oh,
definitely want to
nice.
give them a little love over there for staying up and
Yeah,
hanging out with us.
Austere represents at John Lewis. So for you guys over in the UK, we are actually out there. So John Lewis is a partner of ours. We love them. They're great.
Okay, well there you all go. All right, we're gonna switch gears real quick. 14 things technology taught us. We're not gonna do all 14 of these. All right, we're just only gonna highlight just two or three of them. But like I said, if you're not watching the show, I highly recommend, if you're not watching on YouTube, please come over to YouTube. I cannot say that nice enough. We have a surprise for you, and one or maybe two people may end up winning a prize. And I don't want you to say that you did not know or you did not come over to YouTube and you did not get an opportunity to win. So if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on LinkedIn, please come over to YouTube, type in the Lab Tech Show, and come hang out with us over there. All right, and comment because that's the only way we're gonna know that you were here. Okay, is that fair, Deena?
That is completely fair, especially knowing what we might be giving away today.
Right. See, well, see, she said what we might be giving away. I love it. All right, so let's go back to this real quick. Let's see here. We're 14 things that technology taught us. What was one thing for you that technology taught you?
Probably the one that relates the best to me is the one that's like, don't go so far on social media, or don't go too, you can, you know, you could go too far on social media, how to keep it kind of like tight. that's probably the one, watching what's happened over the last really even 2 years. You could definitely go too far if you're not careful.
Okay. Okay. So social media. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Uh, Here, look at this
Which one
comment
calls
here.
to you?
Look at this comment here. I was here early. Surely I should win something.
I would win.
And look, Mama D. What you just say, Mama D?
Well,
Fair
she's my
game.
twin sister. There you
She
go.
said fair game. And then Lisa Marie out of New York says that's fair. Come on now. All right. So and it says Deena looks like she is on the set of Saturday Night Live
I know, right?
doing the weekly update. Wow. Okay. Hey, this is a live show.
I love it.
Okay, this is a live show. Watching you. Okay, look this comment here. See, this warms my heart right here. This one warms my heart. Watching you taught me how to make better use of my PC and cell phone. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
so that's what that's all about. I mean, it's all about having everyone feel more comfortable, and then we're trying to simplify the tech. So you asked me what again? What was the question?
Which one of the 14 here appeals to you, or which one did you kind of relate most to over the year?
Um, there's never enough storage. Like no
Oh,
matter
yeah, that's true for sure.
whatever you do, I mean, back 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when we were recording, um, you know, the CSD cards go to 128 gigabytes, or that's just 512 gigabytes. Now you're at 1 terabyte now, and then now you
Yeah.
have to have storage for that, and now so
Yeah.
I think that is really what took it over for me. So I love what you just did. She was drinking.
Oh, I
What
know.
were you
I'm
drinking?
drinking whiskey, everybody. Sorry.
And y'all know.
It's from female founded, so I can't have to support it.
Okay, so she's drinking. So she's drinking her whiskey. I told you guys have your adult beverages or your beverage of choice. I have my Minute Maid. She has her whiskey. You want to tell us a little bit about the whiskey, real quickly?
Yeah, it's funny. Yes, it's someone introduced me to it. It is a group of three women out of Portland, Oregon, and they basically took their grandmother's recipe, who she was born and raised in Kentucky, and they made these small batches of bourbon, and it's phenomenal. I'll give you the link to their website so you can post it, Corey. This is the best whiskey I've ever had, and I'm just such a big supporter of anybody that is female or diverse trying to bust out and do their own thing. I can't help myself. I love supporting businesses like that. So that's what I
Ow.
do.
She's like, okay, that's what's up. All right, so real quick, we're gonna do this. We're only gonna select two or three. Follow along in the link if you want to in the description. Let's see what we have here. And I think the number one should be everyone. Remote isn't easy. Everyone's accustomed to sitting back, or excuse me, driving, getting up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, have to be at the desk by 9 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and then sit back in traffic when they get off. Now COVID is taking over, and you got people that wear the shirt and tie or the polo, and then their pajamas on the bottom. The internet does not. How do you word it? The internet does not work right. Zoom calls are not connecting or getting Zoom bombed or anything, something like that. So,
That's
how's your
right.
remote experience?
So again, because I know we're going to jump into austere, but uh, I started the business in 2019, fall of 2019. So we've run more of the business remotely through Zoom than we have like live visiting customers. So that has been a very interesting learning curve. And then to have to do that remotely into Australia, the United Kingdom, Ireland, the Middle East, to your point, I mean, I feel like sometimes you work when you need to work, but it's been tough. So like I've done trainings for the UK at 2 in the morning. because it's 9 or 10 a.m. there, which is when the staff comes on board, because you just have to, it's different. When I fly there, it's easy because you just adjust and then you go on your time. But when you're using remote, it has made it difficult. And then it's harder to be engaged through video than it is live. And then the reaction for questions is a little bit slower. And so you really try to do your best. But I will say, if you can figure it out and leverage remote, you really can run a business remotely. It's probably just not as much fun, is maybe the right way to say it.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair. And
Yeah.
then you're speaking to somebody that has to do it on a weekly basis or on a daily basis.
Yeah, for
So,
you, yes, for sure.
let me see, what else do we have? The second one is you can go too far on social media. Um, January 6th did happen. I
Oh,
think a lot of us were kind of shocked that we actually saw it, and it was all because of a tweet or, some stuff that happened. We've seen some crazy things from car break-ins, car fights, even unfortunately shootings where people have been
yeah.
hurt or have lost their lives. Social media has gone too far, and it's now seemed to be okay, if that makes any sense. Before, it was one of those things that it was one of those things you couldn't, or we did not talk about it, or it was censored. Now you're seeing it, and now some of these social platforms are saying sensitive information, but people still want to watch it, right? So
Of
it's
course.
it,
Actually, it
so
makes you want to watch it more. I hate to say it. When the screen comes up and says sensitive information, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, I really want to watch it,
right,
which is
right,
wrong, but it's true. It kind of drives you to want to look at it more.
right. Let's see. Apple. Everybody knows that I'm not a big fan of Apple, and I see that James Hicks is in the room, and this is his thing. This is his wheelhouse. But Apple didn't really want to make a big deal about the update to the keyboard, and I'm not gonna do too much of it because everybody knows that follows this show knows that I will say this.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We
something.
don't care.
Yeah, we don't care about Apple on the tall boy side, but James Hicks, he loves Apple. He eats, sleeps, and breathes Apple, and there's a lot of people on here that loves Apple as well. But apparently, um, Apple introduced its new M1 MacBook Pro, and they quietly put the Touch Bar out to pasture. And the new laptop is also marked the return of the beloved MagSafe charge port. So I don't know what any of that means, but apparently Apple they brought it back, and it's something that a lot of people either wanted it but they said that didn't want to do it. So I think that Apple is still king when it comes to that ecosystem, and that's all I'm gonna say. Any thoughts on Apple?
So outside of my phone, I am a PC user, and that is what I will say about that.
Okay, all right. Let's see. She said that's all she's gonna say. All right, look, we can
You can
look,
read between the lines.
we can look, we can keep it moving. There we go. I like that. All right, we're gonna skip over a couple of them. What is it? TikTok. It's officially in charge. Not trying to be funny, but we all thought it was a game when the pandemic first hit, right? But now brands have now the taken over the platform. You're finding influencers. They're now making it cool to be on there. We just spoke last week about how you can order your groceries and do deliveries. You can do all of that, all from TikTok. So you can even create a food, and if it goes viral, you can actually make money off of it all through TikTok. So TikTok has pretty much claimed its stake in the social media game.
Yep. So I don't have TikTok on my phone,
Okay.
but my daughter does, and I will tell you, we did all of our Christmas shopping off TikTok through what
All of
she
it?
wanted. For her, 100%. It was insane how easy it was actually to shop on TikTok. Social commerce is very real. I know, like it's pretty strong on Instagram too, I would say. And I will say we actually get a lot of business via Facebook too. But for the younger generation, it absolutely drives what they want, where they want to find it, how they shift over to it. Ella, Ella really did. Ella's my daughter, by the way. Ella really did kind of walk us and sit us down and said, "All right, I saved everything on TikTok that I want. Here's what I need you to go get. Here's how we wear it. Here's how we use it." And that was that. And so we were like, "Okay, I guess this is your Santa wish list, right?" And so that's kind of how we pulled it together for her this year.
Okay. Well, I have not officially gotten on TikTok yet. Um, I don't know what's taking me so long. I have an account. I just have not posted on there. I just don't get it. And it's funny because when I first got on TikTok, it was to make a decision. I mean, Facebook and Instagram is pretty much my mediums. But then, YouTube is my medium number one. But then Facebook and Instagram is my social, interaction. I really couldn't get into Twitter, and I really could not get into Snapchat, and I definitely could not get into LinkedIn. But when I had to make a decision and say, all right, you got to keep up with the times, I went with LinkedIn, and I just found more connections with LinkedIn than I was able to find with TikTok. So it's normal for me to go with LinkedIn, but I have to find a way to get in with TikTok going into 2022.
Yeah, it's a must. We say the same thing about our business too. If you're gonna really choose a medium to educate, even, sure, it'd be great to do the social commerce piece too. But from an education standpoint, if you want to break it down and make it easy for people who are just starting out with tech, and granted they've been living with tech all their lives, but it's where they find it, it's where they want to learn about it, and you either adapt to your audience or you miss out. It's kind of
Yeah,
how the rules are.
yeah. We're going to touch on bases on one more of these topics, and then we're going to move forward and to learn more about you and what you're doing over there. Okay. The last
Okay.
one that we were going to talk about the tech situation is the supply chain. Can you talk a little bit about some of your experiences with the supply chain?
Yes. So I would say we were fortunate or more fortunate than others in regards to supply chain. We made a decision quite a few months back, right kind of when the pandemic started, that the majority of our retailers were on the East Coast or in Europe. So we actually used the Savannah port. And the majority of our goods are in Atlanta, where you are, Corey, to be able to ship up and down the East Coast.
Okay.
And that was long term a good decision because of the backup that was here on the West Coast out of the LA port, the San Francisco port, and the Seattle port. But where I would say was the most frustrating as a business owner was one of the ways to get goods from Asia, which is where the majority of tech goods are made, over here to the United States is via container. And on average, a container would cost us in the past for maybe a 40-foot container would cost maybe $5,000. I would
Wow.
say at its peak, it was $25,000 per 40-foot container from August until just recently when it dropped to maybe like $15,000.
That's a
So
lot.
I know everybody is frustrated because of prices increasing, but those are some of the realities of what manufacturers have had to face in regards to costs. I mean, you to have such an upside like that, where it's 5 times of what you would normally accommodate, really takes a chunk into how you run a business. It's not been fun at all. And the last thing you want to do as a manufacturer is raise your price to a consumer. You'll try to figure out everything you can to basically not lose money first before you'll pass it on to the customer. And so I stand as an owner of a company knowing that a lot of people feel the same way. It's been the most frustrating thing ever. So on top of not being able to get the goods like we all want, not being able to be just in time, which is really what's made us kind of relevant to the consumer. And then on top of that, being charged outrageous pricing. And that's getting it here to the States. Pricing for trucking and rail, even throughout the United States to get it where it needs to go, has also quadrupled in price as well. So it's been very frustrating over the last couple of months. It's funny when you've been in the business a long time, you think you learn what all the mistakes are that you've made, so you don't make the same mistakes. and then something happens like the last 2 years, and you couldn't have even read a book on what to do differently to try to make it easier. I would say a lot of us as business leaders learned what it was to be smart in supply chain and how to be creative as possible to make sure we didn't have a hit, and in turn make the consumer take a hit when it came to pricing.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's sad because, like I said, now you're looking at groceries, you're looking at uh,
Everything.
you're looking at gas. I mean, first it was the micro. At first it was the chip, and I'm a gamer, so I had to have the PlayStation 5. I was lucky to be one of the first ones because I was willing to stand in the line and get one on the first day for the pre-order, and everyone laughed me out the room, right? But now that chip, that same chip that goes in the PlayStation 5, it now goes into your cars, it goes into your cell phones, it goes into pretty much any tech device or TV. And you can't even get those chips because the warehouse or where they make the chip, they're closed. By the time it did open up, then they got it, they were able to ship it, then the shipping containers cost so much, and now they're sitting in the on the dock or sitting out in the on the Pacific Ocean or on the Atlantic Ocean. So it's like your hands are kind of pretty much tied right now to where you can't, as a customer, or excuse me, as a business owner, you can't even get your product out, and that's got to be
Right.
frustrating. That's got to be frustrating. So
Yeah, extremely. And then if you think about it, the recycle process of getting the container back over to Asia now delays that process. So what goods you may have made over there to get over here is delayed to get it on another container because the container hasn't made it back.
wow.
So it's just an ever-ending cycle right now that's been very frustrating.
Wow. One of the questions that came up on the screen was they wanted to see what was the name of the brand of the whiskey. They wanted to support it. So if you could
It's
share that.
called, I was going to send you the link. Yeah, it's called Free Land Bourbon, Freeland Bourbon out of Portland, Oregon.
All right, guys, there it is. Freeland Bourbon. And I'm trying to see if I can get these comments to pop back up on the
They make a
screen.
gin too, but I haven't, the gin's downstairs, but I haven't tried it yet.
And then here's one from a truck driver. Revis says, I'm a truck driver and our pay haven't increased very much. So,
It's frustrating. It
yeah,
should.
yeah.
It's so funny. I say it all the time. I feel like truck drivers and teachers are the backbone of America and yet not recognized in any way whatsoever. Like it's super frustrating out there.
Yeah, yeah, I completely understand. All right, so this is the part of the show where I end up doing this. Hey, everybody, my name is Tall Boy. It's the Lab Tech Show. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You can go to YouTube and check out all the great shows, see what's there. There's some great content on there, and I know you will love it. Check us out, the Lab Tech Show. Did you like that?
I did. I like the music in the background. It makes me want to drink more bourbon, actually.
Uh-oh. Watch out there
Hold on.
now. Watch out there, Deena. Hold on. Deena, I want to know if you would be willing to do this for me.
What?
I want to know if you'll be willing to do the Lab Tech Show promo.
Oh, you want me to do it? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I could do
I
it.
want
I'd
you to
have to
put.
practice though.
No, you just got to do it off the fly. You're going to say, hey, this is Deena Ghazarian. However, you put your title. You can do it regular. You can just read it off the screen. However you would promote the show.
Okay. Okay, you got it. I can do that.
You got that? Okay, give me one second.
Yeah.
Let me get the screen up. Let me get this up and let me see what we got here. And you ready? 3, 2, and
Okay, here's our favorite part of the show. Follow us on social and make sure you check out the Lab Tech Show or the Lab Tech Show Live. We're here to be of service to make tech as easy as possible for you. That's right, the Lab Tech Show, or follow us at the labtechshow.live.
Well, let me
How was
find
that?
out. Let me find out over there. Okay. Mama D says Jen makes you sin. LOL. Okay. Mama, you see Mama D. See two Mama D's, and y'all both live in California. Okay.
We do.
Uh,
Where does Mama D live? I'm curious. Southern California
yeah,
or
she's
Northern?
she's in Southern California, and then I think
Okay,
you
cool.
got two guys, James Hicks, and you also have Digital Growth Hacks. They're both in Sacramento area, and then Lisa Marie, she's in New York, and she says not bad at
Love
all.
that.
Way to go. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Lisa Marie.
All right. All
Or
right. Hold
Lisa
on.
Maria. Lisa
Yeah,
Maria.
Lisa. Yeah, Lisa Maria. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So we're here to talk because people may have purchased TVs, right? And when they
Yes.
purchase those TVs, they have to hook up their TVs to external devices such as their PlayStation, for like me, maybe a DVD player, a VCR, or any other device that would enhance their TV. And have multiple capabilities. Or maybe they went out and bought a monitor and they needed to get a cable or something like that to be able to hook from their laptop or their PC to the monitor. And I think the problem that we have is, how do I word this? The problem that we have is we just trying to get we just spent all this money on this TV or this computer or this monitor, and we don't know anything about HDMI cable, so we really don't go out and invest into the proper cabling to get a better picture quality. Would you agree with that?
That is correct.
She said that is correct. So you have a
Hmm.
brand, and you've had an opportunity to work with Beats by Ray. You've had an opportunity to work with Monster, and you've worked with some other companies that have allowed you to make sure that the packaging is sleek and all of that good old stuff. You mind telling us a little bit more about your company called Austere? Hold on, let me
I
see if I
will
hold on, let me
absolutely.
see if I do this right. I said it too
Okay.
fast. Your company called Austere.
Austere, that's right. So Austere is a home theater accessories company, and if you think about why accessories, why is that even important? Accessories are kind of like the nervous system. If you really kind of want to break it down and understand what's the importance, it's the nervous system of your system that allows you to send the data basically to all your different components, just like your brain. So, as a customer, you think the cable is the same no matter if you bought it last year or 15 years ago. Yet, there is a dramatic difference in what you get with the cable, just in regards to providing the best software. So there's a couple things that we look at. One is the certification program that HDMI.org puts out there. The best cable companies actually will have either for 4K the premium certification or for 8K the ultra certification. That certification will make sure that whatever you spent money on in regards to your TV, your soundbar, your receiver, whatever's in your system, it will allow you the ability to unlock all of the features that you paid very good money for. So let's talk about that with TVs, because TVs saw like a 16% lift. 4K TVs saw a 16% lift this holiday season, which is dramatic. They're saying over 50% of the homes, even going into 2022, will now have major home theater systems. Yet most people are probably setting it up with an HDMI cable that's kind of relatable to like a spare tire on a car. So, what do you want out of a cable to make sure that you're unlocking all the best features, such as that awesome HDR color that you would get, and or the streaming capability? So you actually make sure that when you are streaming audio with your video, that it's in sync. You want to make sure that you step up for all those features. So, a couple things about our cable that we made different, because by the way, I mean, there's a lot of great HDMI cables out there. We just tried to differentiate ourselves for the value for the money. So the first is, I'm a big believer in skinny and thin. So if you guys notice on the cable, by the way, here's my pinky as a good reference example. The connector itself is super short, which makes it very easy to install. There's locking connectors at the end of it. And then if you notice, it's very, as what I like to call, skinny. So there's not a lot of excess fat. It's not, it's not short, but kind of fat or wide this way or vice versa. So it makes it very easy to be able to stick into the back of a television and figure out where it needs to go. That's number one. Number two, for those of you who've played with HDMI cables before, they tend to be very thick and they tend to be actually not flexible at all. So what we did is we made our cable with a stranded copper, and it's an oxygen-free copper, which is usually used in the best. Fortunately, most of the cheap cables that you can buy for $19.99 or less are usually what they call a copper clad, which is a mix of aluminum and copper, and there's way more aluminum than copper. And copper is truly the best conductor of a signal that you could get. So we took a copper, what is normally in a copper cable, they make with a solid core. We made it stranded. So what does that do for you? Makes the cable super flexible. So as you guys can see here, I can wrap it around my finger, which means I can wrap it around the back of a mount. I can run it through a piece of furniture super easily and actually have it be easily moldable and flexible for what I need to be able to set it up. It also gives us a very flexible reinforcement point. So one of the biggest frustrating things about HDMI when you take it out of the back of a TV, you usually have this huge round loop because you can't get the flexibility out of the cable. This allows you, any way that you're putting the cable into the back of the TV, to have that super flexibility and be able to utilize it so it stays tight behind whatever kind of, most people want it on the wall, and most people have about this much room behind the wall because they want it flat like a picture frame. So all pretty amazing out of a cable. And let me tell you, it's really hard to innovate on a cable that's been around for 13 to 14 years or more. So we actually had a lot of fun with this cable. And then we did some great things. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, the metal housing is just our gorgeous
I have a
CA
question
design.
for you.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
So you were just speaking on how the cable is braided and you can twist it. What made you come up with that design as opposed to just the standard cable, that the standard HDMI cable that does not have a lot of flexibility?
Absolutely. So I have an unbelievable engineer and head of product development on my team. His name is Stan. And Stan has been an engineer in the cable space for a long time. So I will say things like, I want the thinnest, super flexible cable possible. And then he will go out and do the research on what would make it happen. And it's so funny. We really got to the point where if you have thousands of strands and it's like hair, the difference is if you have one of the small strands, to Rich's point, break in some way, it's different than if you have a solid core. We like to compare it to like a solid core copper center is like a paper clip. Well, what happens when you bend a paper clip back and forth and or you're trying to install it and move it and wrap it or whatever? You potentially could warp that core. And if you do, it's going to prohibit the signal from being pure. So that's the reason why we went to that stranded copper. So it gives you multiple ability, kind of gives you multiple options to send that signal up and down. So it's awesome in regards to that and for little to no breakage, actually. So, Rich, I hope that answered your question. I love that you're popping up like that. You're asking all the right questions, by the way. So that I hope that answers why we thought about it. It's a cool option. The team is very great about thinking about how to be outside of the box in regards to these things. We love it.
Okay. All right.
Do you want a couple more things about HDMI that I love?
No. So, okay. So what makes Austere stand out as opposed to Monster, which is everyone knows Monster, or maybe the Amazon Basics? What makes this cable stand out as opposed to the starter tier to the more premium tier?
Yep. So let me start with the starter tier. So the starter tier is that kind of copper clad aluminum that I was talking about that is really not great over time in regards to sending a signal. So first of all, it's not pure copper. So the signal could get, what's the right word for it? It could get fractured in some way because it is that core. You could easily bend it, and in bending it, you could actually cause that warping in the system. So that's number one. Number two, they usually, people think about, and this is kind of a Monster thing too, when you think about a gold connector, everybody thinks about the outside and how great that is. It's really more of a design look and feel. Where it's super important for the gold connection is actually the teeth on the inside. So I'm going to kind of bring my cable as close as I can. I don't know if you can tell. there are small gold teeth. Those teeth are the connection point when you go into the back of a TV or back of receiver. The problem, gold is the best kind of contact you can have. The difference, though, is on those cheap cables, it's a flash. The minute you stick that cable in and out once and pull it out, it will absolutely rub the gold off the inside. So I think about like a ring. So you know when you wear a gold wedding ring and over time it wears down because you kind of like rub it and hit it all the time on the backside? That's exactly what's happening to the cable. So on a flash, like on every kind of basic cable that they do, if there is any kind of gold standard there, it's gone in just a couple seconds, right? We use on our entry level a 15 micron, which is pretty thick. And on our best cable, we use a 30 micron. That's like 10 times more than anybody in the industry that's out there. And so that's a huge feature. The reason why we do that too is if you think about it, especially for most people, they'll either have a retractable mount or a stand that you're going to want to move back and forth. Well, guess what? That HDMI cable that's in there, it's going to wiggle. And so my team teases me. I say it all the time. It wiggles. Every time it wiggles, it actually kind of removes a little bit of that gold. So if you don't have a thick set of gold there, and it's such a little thing that you wouldn't think about, you will literally have the ability of allowing air because gold is porous. And the second you allow that air in, it'll hit the oxygen-free copper. Then it's not oxygen-free anymore. And it really will prevent the best signal. So you want to have all of those things that are there for that cable.
Look, you got the men. Look, you got the men over here saying, "I never heard so much about HDMI cables. I love this." I'm waiting for some of the women to say something because the reason why I brought you on is because they buy the TVs and they're not mentioning. They know about the cables, and I'm glad you're giving them, a history lesson or you're giving them, some type of crash course on what they're getting. And yes, the 24 karat or the gold plated HDMI cables, they are a little bit more expensive, but you're explaining to them why you're getting this. Now, can you tell us the difference between the picture quality?
Oh, okay. So that's where I was going. Like, so maybe if you're, and I don't want to say not as technical because I think everybody today in some way it's kind of forced to be technical. I think the chances of you saying you're tech savvy or not doesn't really exist as much anymore. But here's the difference for me. I am a big believer that if I'm going to spend money on a TV, I want that color pop and that depth. That is what I'm paying for, right? You walk into a store, you see a TV on a wall, you want that color. And if you do not have the cable that allows that bandwidth to give you that color, that is what you're missing. And here's the deal. You don't know unless you plug in one of those cheap cables and then turn around and replace it with a better cable. If you're in a store and they show you that difference, it's dramatic. Blacks are blacker, greens pop. Like we have imagery of where you just take a basic cable out of the box, which is what most people end up using. You plug it in and then you on the same source, same TV, same content, you plug in our cable and it's an instant upgrade. It's dramatic. That's really
That's
you
what
want.
they're saying.
And what
It's a dramatic difference. That's what they're saying.
It is dramatic. Yeah.
Now you were talking to me before we started the show. You told me a little bit about you have a merchandising background, and when you designed this cable, I don't really want to talk too much about it, but I'm just gonna pop this image up on the screen that I was sent, and I mean this looks like I just bought some jewelry out of Kay's Jewelers or something like that. So can you talk about that?
So I can. Okay.
But you see the packaging of how this looks when you receive it. So I'm gonna put you back on the screen. Hold on, let me put you solo on the screen. Hold on, let me get you back on the screen. Hold on, let me get you back. All right, there you go.
All right. So I tease. I've been in accessories all my life. So when I was in fashion, I was in handbags, fashion jewelry, fine jewelry, watches, sunglasses, you name it. So I've always been the attachment to some great outfit or to some great, hardware piece, however you want to look at it, right? That is absolutely my background. So I understand, I tease all the time. I say, I understand what it is to be the awesome wing woman in any situation to make whatever it is look good. Now, because of that background, I was in stores. I had to merchandise all day long. And the most frustrating thing for me was that the manufacturer didn't do a couple things. Number one, they wouldn't necessarily give you, as the salesperson presenting to the customer, a cheat sheet on what you needed to know. I mean, most salespeople in the store need to know about thousands of products. So as a good manufacturer, you want to make sure that you give actual very simple tools for the sales associate to be able to tell the customer. And then one of the things we do, and I'm just, again, going to take two of our products, put them together. This actually will show you the differences between the two. So you can actually talk about the best cable versus the better cable and why you would step up from one to the other. So simple things like that. The other thing is, again, because of my accessories background, I know what it is to do an unbelievable unboxing experience. So we took a little bit of time. This is like a soft touch box. The unboxing experience is super sexy. You really do open it up, and to your point, you have this like jewelry experience with a flock type of feel to it, the beautiful kind of like blue pop, you name it. But most importantly for me is I had a really hard time making a product and not thinking about sustainability. So we on purpose finished the box, and we talk about the fact that we want, even though it's made of recyclable material, we really want you to reuse it. So I'm a big believer in this box is an awesome box to be able to utilize in drawers, organization of it, etc. But like reuse it. Don't throw it away. I mean, you can, it's recyclable, but we want you to, it's sexy and gorgeous enough. And if you can tell, it's got a very simple look to it, not a lot of branding. So you can easily use it in any drawer of your home, etc., to be able to organize.
Do you see this comment on the screen?
I do. I love it. Rich, you and I need to talk. I cannot wait.
He's a DJ, so he's got to have his HDMI cables. He's streaming.
I love it.
I mean, we work out some sort of deal. So this is the whole concept, guys. I mean, my thing is how we find founders, marketing directors, CMOs. How do we get them to come on the show and talk tech and break it down and simplify it? And I'm glad you guys are being very interactive, and it's not like, oh, I just want one. No, you're giving her, if you have any feedback for her, please give her the feedback that you would have if you asked someone that was at the store, whether it's a Best Buy, a John Lewis, a Target. Target wouldn't have it, but any tech store that would have it. Ask her these questions, because I think this is where you are getting a chance to hear from the founder. Whatever concerns you have, she can answer right live on the spot. Here's one of the questions that we have. Well, not questions.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here we go. Jeff Bull says here, and I know you want to talk about a couple other products, and I know we're running out of time, but hearing lots of circular economic ideas going into her products makes me happy. Do they make, now this is a good question here. Do you make micro HDMI cables?
So how funny. We get that question every once in a while. We haven't gone down there yet because as of right this second, I'm focused on the home and making sure every room of the home is given the ability to have the right connection, the right protection with power, and then the right cleaning capability with a cleaning solution we make. As we continue to broaden and grow, because you have to remember, I'm still 2 years old. Like, as much as I've been in this business a long time, I'm still only 2 years old, so I'm growing. But it is on our roadmap eventually.
So the business is only 2 years old? Austere is only 2 years old? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
2 years old, two and change. Yeah, we launched in August of 19.
Okay. Well, and now that we're into live streaming, this is one of those areas that you may want to look into, because you need those micro HDMI or those mini HDMI cables. But I understand right now the focus is on the TV or on the PC to the monitor or something like that. They says, can you make cell phone cables? That's another question. And
so again, I don't want to spoil anything, but this might be wait, hold on, I'm trying to get into the picture. This might be a secret prototype that exists that we're
Hold
playing
on,
around with.
hold on. They can't see it. It seems like you're frozen. Just well, not frozen. It seems like you're behind. But give me one
Delayed
second.
here. This is a secret. I
Can't
don't know if you
see
guys
what
can
you're.
see it.
Can't
Yeah, so the answer is yes.
Okay. And then somebody also is saying, what
Um,
about audio cabling?
We do make audio cables. So I make a subwoofer cable. I make a audio interconnect. I make a subwoofer audio interconnect, a fiber optic. I make a speaker cable, bananas to go with the speaker cable. I make a pre-terminated speaker cable that will be launching this year. And XLR is on the list for my DJs. I am getting there as fast as I can.
And then somebody says, "Ooh, prototype chat, nice. They like that." So, okay, all right. So this is so you have audio cabling, XLR, mini HDMI, micro HDMI is on. Is it on your roadmap, or you're just not there yet?
So micro HDMI is on the roadmap. It is something that we were looking at for 2023. XLR is not quite there yet, but it is something that is on our radar.
Here's a good question that I just saw pop up on the screen. They said they need all the cables, and I need them every conceivable length. So, what are the lengths that you have for these cables?
Absolutely. So the majority of our lengths right now are either 1.5 meter, 2.5 meter, or 5 meter.
Okay.
It's a good question, and as we get more into what I will call the custom space, we will have the capability of being able to do more lengths because we know those are needed. Again, we started with our retail partners, and retail, the majority of what's being sold in a simple home theater system is really kind of those lengths, that are needed, right? A simple 1.5 from a TV to a soundbar, 2.5 from a TV to a receiver, any kind of source, and a 5 meter for a much longer kind of setup with a rack or whatever. So we know that the cable lengths are needed, and we want to make sure that we will have the capability of doing longer lengths as we grow.
Okay. So, Lisa Marie, and like I said, we want to simplify this, and I think we started to get out of some people's wheelhouse. So, Lisa Marie is a little lost, and she wants us to break it down just a little bit in English. So,
Okay.
so just break it down in plain English to where the person that's novice, that has no idea, break it down to them. If you can break it down in a synopsis, if that makes sense.
For HDMI cable, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you will go into a store and you will see a TV that has the most vibrant colors
No, no, no. They got that
possible.
part. They're talking about
Oh,
the meters. So she's
oh,
talking about.
meters. Okay. 4 feet, 8 feet, and 16 feet. 12 feet is usually the sweet spot, and that's really where you want to be.
Okay.
How's that?
So 4 feet. That's pretty much if you have like the VCR
4 feet
right
arm to
next.
arm.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have a TV and a soundbar right beneath it, you would want that 1.5 meter.
Okay.
If you have a TV on a stand or a TV and then have like a system underneath it in a pretty setup, that would be like a 2.5 meter. Most gamers like our two and a
So
half
so
meter cable.
so 2.5 meters is what in feet?
So that's a little over 8. It's almost 9 feet.
Okay. And then the
And
next
then
one.
if is 5 meter. So if you're in a situation where you have like a closet or a rack system that's a little bit further away from where your
Mm-hmm.
TV is, and then all your components are hidden, that's probably the longer length you would want.
Okay. So the longer length would be like the 12 feet one, right?
12 to 16 feet. That's right.
Oh, okay. So Lisa, I got you. Now, I got you. We're gonna make sure that you're okay. So I don't want anybody to be left behind. And this is good because when people come back and watch the replay, we don't want them to get lost with the meters, right? So that's why you broke it down to say 2 feet, 4 feet, 8 feet, 12 feet. Is that the correct size? Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Those are the right links on the HDMI. And then speaker cable is slightly different because you're going to need longer. So we do a spool that's 50 feet. So that should allow you to have like two big tall speakers on either side.
Look at this
and a little bit
guy.
of
Look at
cable.
this guy. He's saying, did I just
Wait,
say?
where?
He said, did I say VCR? I did. I've been saying VCR all night. I meant DVD player. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My mind's somewhere else. Yeah, y'all got me. Yeah. Y'all got me. Let me see.
Hold up.
I was wrong on that one. So, all right. So we've been talking about HDMI cables, and I know you had two more products that you wanted to talk about. I tried to keep the show
Did.
to an hour, but if you guys in the comments want to hear more, please put in the comments. You want to hear more. If not, I will keep it to the hour, and we'll try and do everything else as in a synopsis. But I really wanted Deena to come on and talk about some of her products that she had here, because she has two more cool products, but I don't want to bore you guys too much, if that makes sense. And we want to be respectful of everyone's time. And also, we're taping for TV, but we'll be mindful. So put in the comments. I know it's a 10 to 15-second delay. Let us know what you think. Deena, you had two more products. You want to pick one, and then depending on what they say in the comments, you want to tell us what you think. Tell us about the other one.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next one I wanted to talk about is our lovely Clean and Protect product.
Okay.
Again, timing couldn't have been more perfect. Using a non-harsh chemical is absolutely a priority when you clean any sort of television device, laptop device. Usually, especially on a television, there's a coating that makes the picture look great. And if you use Windex or any kind of ammonia-oriented product, you will strip the coating off the TV. And God forbid anything happens to the product,
So don't
your
use the
warranty
alcohol
will
and
be
don't use Windex, is what you're saying.
no ammonia, no alcohol. If you do and you strip the coating and something were to happen to your TV, your warranty will actually be null and void. It's very frustrating. Not a lot of people know that. So we made this great product. It's got non-harsh chemical. It actually helps with static. It's pretty wonderful. But I would say again, where timing is sometimes perfect. We launched this product in 19, just like I mentioned. And one of the differentiators we put into it is we made it an antibacterial product. So we use a solution that allows you to kill 99.99% of staph infection germs, strep, and two different forms of an influenza virus comes from a bacteria strain in 60 seconds. So
60?
sure enough, we launched this. Yeah, 60 seconds. So, and it was tested. It's been tested from an SDS is the service that's out there that does the testing to verify that's true. Now, here's what's crazy, right? So we launched this product. It's a great clean and protect, and there's this awesome step up for antibacterial for those of us who were germaphobes. Then we go into a pandemic, and it becomes our number one seller out of the gate. Because a lot of people are using this on all of their devices. So their mouse, their keyboard, their phone, their laptop, their iPad, anywhere where we're constantly touching, again, because of what's happened over the last year. So we are
Look at Rebus now.
super excited.
Look at Rebus. That's what happened to my eyeglasses.
That's right. It's an awesome product for eyeglasses too. Granted,
Now, can
we're a
can
home
you
theater
buy this at
company.
CVS or Target or Walmart?
No, no. We are strictly at our CE retailers, but you can buy it on Amazon and you
Oh,
can buy it on austere.com.
okay, so what's a C retailer?
A CE retailer. So if you're in New York, like Lisa Marie, that's a PC Richard and Son. If you're in Miami, Florida, or in Atlanta, where you are, that's a BrandSmart USA. If you're in Southern California, that's a Howard's Electronics. If you're anywhere in the Southwest, that's a Conn's Home Plus. So we're in what you call like a regional based retailer is where we do a lot of our business. We have an
Okay.
awesome assisted sales floor, and we love assisted sales floors because they can help tell the story of why Austere is important.
Okay. Now, before you break off and say anything else, if you're watching on another platform, LinkedIn or on Facebook, because I'm live there, but I can't bring your comments in, please come over to YouTube. I know this is some awesome content, but we're going to do some cool stuff in a minute. And if you didn't comment, we can't help you. We gave out the disclaimer. So that's all I can really say. Um, they said, what about the West Coast, like the Bay Area?
Bay Area, the best place that you could probably go, honestly, is either like a crutchfield.com, amazon.com, or Austere. We're not in a Bay Area regional retailer. There's not too many of them up there anymore, unfortunately.
Okay, so we never talked about pricing. So for the cables, what are we looking at for pricing for
Yeah.
cables?
So we range from $59 to about $200 for the best cable in the longest length. So it ranges anywhere depending on size and length. And then the clean is $29.99.
Okay, and how big is the bottle? 12
The
ounces,
bottle
60.
is 200. It's 200 milliliters, and we have a new product coming at CES that Corey, you're now coming by, as we talked about, and I'll share it with you. And as sexy and as cool as this bottle is, the new bottle is unbelievably sexy. I cannot wait. I can't even believe I get that excited about a bottle, but wait till you see it. You will love it.
Okay, and look at this comment here. He's saying, I'm trying to get it to come up on the screen. Did I not do it right? You have some awesome products. How are you priced? Well, she just answered that one.
Yeah,
And then
but just
look
to
at
help,
look at Mama D,
Corey.
because she's in
Oh,
California. Mama D says, I want some spray.
yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
uh,
Back to Revis's question, just really quick too. If you think about Austere, we're not entry level, but we're also not like that crazy high end audiophile over the top. We are a good value in the middle, in the sense that you get a lot of value for what I would call a better price. And when you really break down the features and compare it, there is a lot that you get for what we charge. I'm actually very proud of it.
okay, all right. And then you got one more product that you want to talk about.
I do.
Um, and I
I,
think
I
this one,
could
I don't
I
think
could
no
talk for
one.
days.
I think this one here, this product that you're about to bring up now, I don't think anybody ever thinks about power and protection, if that makes. Now look at Tabitha. I see that this is what this show is all about here. You bring them
I
on,
love
you
it.
show them, because all you know, and when I break this down, all you know is what you see inside of the Walmarts, the Amazons, and maybe the Best Buys. They never show you, if I'm saying this right, they never break it down on what each one of these products do, and they just say go with Monster because Monster is the name brand. Go with Amazon Basics because it's the cheapest, right? No one talks to you
Mhm.
about why that gold plated is important, or why that solution, why it helps with your laptop, or why it helps with your glasses. No one breaks this kind of information down. So to have these type of companies like you and some of the other ones that we've had on in the earlier on in the year, you're now being introduced to somebody that you're meeting the founder, you're having a conversation with her, you can respond to her in real time, and now she walks away getting real feedback from real listeners. So I hope this is a win-win
I love it.
situation for everybody.
Yeah, it is for me, for sure.
Here's Jeff Bull. He says, I never thought this much about cabling and cleaner. That's amazing.
Welcome to my world.
Now that's hilarious. And then Rich Vibes, y'all got to work something out over there. He's saying he's
I will, Rich. If the pandemic, if it allows, I should be sneaking over in late February, early March. We will have to get together, please.
okay. Well, there it is. Rich, you may have to take a ride on up to London. All right. I forgot what city he's in. Rich, put in the comments what city you're in, and maybe you guys can find a way she can put it on her map. All right, you got one more product,
Exactly.
right?
I do. So even though I think there's a lot of value to learn and to know about HDMI, and Clean is a great, easy product to have and use just about through all of your tech products. I'm a big believer in safety and family and making sure that you really protect not only your equipment, but your home in general. And power protection, true surge protection, if you do it right, is really a backbone. I can't stress that enough. We basically took, and I know this again is kind of tech talk, but there's a very high end power product out there, and it's usually called chassis power. It's what most integrators will use in a home, etc. We took the best features of what would be in chassis power, and we put it into a strip at a value that's between $100 and $200. You cannot beat what's here for the price and the features. But the number one thing that I say is that if you truly read the warranty of any television product you buy, because the plug is now directly like connected to the motherboard, that's how you get the TV so thin. If you have any type of surge, you will immediately damage your entire unit. When you read the warranty, they say if you do not use some sort of surge protection and you fry your TV because you had it plugged in directly to the wall, the warranty is null and void. To me, that is like the largest red flag possible on why power is so critical in a system. Don't get me wrong. There's awesome like noise filtration things that can be utilized. There's, multiple plugs, USB charging, even PD watt in some of our higher end stuff. But from a safety perspective and keeping your home safe and keeping your product so you literally can utilize it to the best of its performance, power really is something that you should have in every single one of your home theater type of installations, no matter what room of the home.
So I'm going to put you on the screen. Can you tell us a little bit about this surge protector that you have? Because I see that there's some type of numbers on one side, and then I see like some USB ports and HDMI ports plus plugs. So let me get you all the way on the screen, and I'm going to let you go from there, okay?
You got it. Okay, so a couple different things about our unit that's pretty neat. So first of all, we have some of the best Joule capability that you can have. And what the heck does a Joule mean? And it's not Joule like jewelry, even though I wish it was. Joules really is the amount of surge protection that will allow you to be able to protect your product. We have 3,000 joules in one unit, 4,000 joules in another unit. What the heck does that mean? Imagine it this way. A surge protector is kind of like a mattress. Over time, you will wear out the product. So over time, just like a mattress, just like on a surge protector, you will wear out. Joules will basically keep you protected until they run out. The way I say it is imagine it's like kind of a bank account, and you're given a certain amount of joules or money. And over time, any one of those surges or spikes, your refrigerator compressor starting up and your whole house kind of getting this like low light back to a big light because that's a little surge that's going through your house. Surge protection is making sure that doesn't extend to any of your components. So a 3,000 unit will last you about 5 to 7 years, and a 4,000 unit, which is our better product, will last you about 7 to 10. But eventually it will run out. Most people have power that has been in their home for way more than 10 years. And all it is like a glorified outlet because basically the joules have run out and you have no idea. So we have a light indicator, which is this guy right here, that actually will tell you when your joules run out and it's time to replace it. Also, if you buy our product and you register, we will give you the heads up of when it's almost time to be able to replace the unit. So that's one cool feature that the lighting system tells you. The next lighting feature is what you call overcurrent protection. Most units will allow you, I say it all the time because especially around Christmas, because people do this. Have you ever seen a plug that gets plugged into a plug that gets plugged into a plug that gets plugged into an extension cord that gets,
That's my system down here right now.
Okay.
Don't judge
So by
me.
the way, that's super dangerous.
But it's plugged into like a battery power pack, though. Don't judge me.
Well, but as long as you have it individually plugged into each plug, you're okay. But sometimes people piggyback plug onto plug. That's actually not safe. what our unit will do is the minute you go over 15 amps, it'll actually shut itself down if you overtax it, and then you have to reset the system in order for it to work. So basically protects you from you if you try to overload a system. Okay, that's usually only found in high-end stuff, yet it's a super safe feature, because if you overwork a system and it actually catches on fire, you really put yourself at risk, right? So that's a big deal. And then the last one is our ground, to make sure that obviously you are alive and well and powered on in the proper way. Some older homes don't actually have a proper ground. Our device, if it can't find it, that last light won't light up and you know something's wrong with the home. So we actually use that a lot in different situations to make sure the home is safe. And those are just 3 of those features. Then I'm a big believer in that if you buy a 6 outlet, that the outlets need to be spaced enough so no matter how big the transformer, you can plug it in and still get 6 outlets. My biggest frustration in selling power for over 20 years is when you align all the power right on top of each other, and then the minute you stick a transformer in, you take up 2 plugs. Like, why? I didn't pay for that, but that's what happens. So if you notice, we made a lot of spacing and they're all faced out. So if I buy a 6 outlet, I'm going to use the 6 outlet. Then on top of that is we have our USB-A and our USB-C plugs. So these are all 2.4 rapid charging plugs. They're also smart charging. So the minute you get close to actually having a fully charged device, it'll trickle charge. So you won't use down your battery on any of your hardware devices you're using. And then on our 7 series, this very last USB-C is a PD, which is called power delivery charging, or GaN charging, which is the new efficient, rapid USB charging that some people have seen Apple starting to use it. We're the only power guys out there utilizing it. It's unbelievable charging that's super low, super efficient, and it's fast. So if my laptop was dead and I plugged a USB-C into a PD, my dead laptop would be charged in no less than like 40 minutes. Your iPhone is probably like in 15 minutes. It's crazy.
So this will charge your laptop right here? So
yeah. So if you have a fully dead laptop with just a USB-C cable, so you got, you know, when you're playing with a regular laptop cord, it's got that big, huge 65-watt transformer in the middle, right? And that's how it's doing and charging your device. This new technology allows you to go just to a USB-C cable only, plug into a PD GaN charger directly into the device. And not only is it efficient, it's fast. So yeah, maybe 40 minutes.
How long
max
does it take? So how long does it take for that to charge, to be able to charge your phone or to charge? Well, it's plugged into a wall, so it doesn't really matter, right?
Well, right. Well, it's plugged in the wall, right? But then you plug the cable into these ports, and then you turn around, plug it into the device. So I've had a dead iPhone. I've plugged it into a PD 45-watt charger, and it's taken 15 minutes to fully charge my phone. It is the newest, greatest technology out there that nobody talks about yet.
Okay. All right. A lot of packed information.
I mean, there's so much. I could do this for hours, if you can tell.
We got to get you back on the show because you got more products, and we only said we were going to do 3.
I know, right? I know.
And so we said we were only going to do 3, and I did not think that everyone was going to enjoy the way that they're enjoying. So I'm hoping that you're getting some positive feedback. I don't know if you're able to see some of the comments.
I am. They're great.
But they definitely want to know what's your website and order information. So if somebody wants to order, what's the website?
Yes. So come to Austere. That's AUSTERE.com. And everything I talked about today is on our website. So you could easily come there and order. And then, Corey, I can work with Sarah and you. We could even do a friends and family for anybody who listens to you. They can come to the site with a friends and family, little bit of love if they want to buy product.
All right, guys. So I know y'all want to buy this stuff today. But give me till at least, can you get it to me tomorrow or by Friday? Okay, so if you get me the information by Friday. If you get me the information, I will have it up by no later than Friday. And we'll have like some type of promo code that you can put in, and then you'll get some type of discount of whatever Sarah and Deena thinks is deemed appropriate. And if anybody shares the video and say, hey, y'all need to buy this, there it is. So,
Yep.
so by Friday, when I upload the show to, matter of fact, this is a perfect segue to be able to do this right here. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. But by Friday, we will have all of that ready for you. All right. So hold on. It did not fire. Hey everybody, Tall Boys on Roku and Amazon Fire. Go to TVE Media and check it out. We on TV. All right, guys, real briefly, this is what it looks like when you download TVE Media. You'll see my logo right there on the screen. And then this will open up. So if you have a Roku or a Fire Stick, this is the lab. And then you kind of go from there. All right. So you have a cooking show on there. You have an old school R&B show. And you also have the lab tech show. So make sure you check it out. It's TBE Media. All right. That's pretty much it. All right. So by Friday, I'll have some type of instructions. I'll do a video or something like that. That'll be New Year's Eve. And if you guys like it, you can purchase. So hold off. Don't buy tonight because she says she's going to hook you guys up for being so cool and hanging out with her. So look, Mama D said, you said Friday, so I'm holding you to it. So I will post it on
I'm
all
on
my
it.
social. I will post it on all my social channels, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Okay. And then make sure you guys go follow the Lab Tech Show on YouTube. And if you're on whatever other social platforms, please make sure you follow those channels. And if you're not on any other channels, going over there to Roku or Amazon Fire, and you can kind of go from there. All right, so we're going to shut down because people have made comments, and we're going to shut down all comments. So if you have not commented thus far, I'm sorry. It is what it is. I have a list of names, and we're going to do a giveaway. The layout of those outlets means we won't have a larger power bricks taking over other plugs. Is that I hope I said it right.
Say that one more time.
I'm gonna put this on the screen here so you can see it as
Okay.
well. The layout of those
The
outlets
layout does
mean
not make- That is correct. He is absolutely correct.
all right, so I am working on getting the spin wheel ready, and for the ones, this is no shade to Sammy, but Sammy has been the winner on multiple prizes, so it's not fair for Sammy to continuously win. So Sammy and I had a conversation. He said he wanted somebody else to win. Okay, so we did not
Aw.
add Sammy's name to the list because it was just everybody's going to think that it's rigged if Sammy actually wins again. So I'm not giving Sammy an opportunity. I'm not giving Sammy an opportunity to be in on this one here. So would you like to tell him what you would like to do for watching the show tonight?
Absolutely. So we are going to give away two of the items I talked about tonight. One is our fabulous 8K HDMI cable. So that's one of the prizes. And then the second prize is the Clean and Protect product that we talked about this evening.
Okay, so the cleaning solution, and then also we're gonna give away the HDMI cable. And is that 4, 6, 8, or 12 feet?
We are going to do the 2.5 meter, which is the 8 to 9 feet.
Okay,
We're going to do
that's
the
fair.
right length,
Okay,
best length.
the best length. Okay, and you said that length would do what again? As far as
That
where?
length, yep, that length could either be a TV to a soundbar or a TV to a system underneath a TV.
Okay, there it is. All right, I'm just trying to set something up real quick as we do this, and we're gonna do one and one, right? So we'll have two winners.
Two winners.
Okay, she said two winners. All right, guys, here's the spin wheel right here. Did I do? Oh, I did not do everybody's name. Sammy's name. That's the wrong spin wheel. Give me 1 second. Deena, well, while I'm working on that, do you mind just telling people real briefly, more about where they can find your products again, and also anything else you want them to know?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you are on the East Coast, best places in the New York tri-state area is PC Richard. If you're in Atlanta or Miami, you're looking at Brandsmart. If you're anywhere from Virginia to Arizona and making your way through most of the South and Midwest, it's Cons. If you're in Southern California, it's Howard's. And if you're not in any one of those major places, Crutchfield.com, and Amazon.com and Austere.com are great places to go. If you happen to be in Chicago, app.com is a great place. And if you happen to be in Dallas, Texas, Omaha, Nebraska, or Kansas City, Missouri, Nebraska Furniture Mart also has our product.
There it is. And then, do you prefer people to go to your website, or does it not matter?
It's wherever you feel most comfortable. I know there's a lot of people who love Prime, so if Amazon makes it easy for you, great. I believe in being more than expected with our customer service and experience. So if you come to austere.com, you're going to learn a ton, probably the most of where you would learn anything about the product. And we will deliver some of the best experience for you, and you'll get your product pretty fast as well. So again, wherever you feel comfortable, we're happy to have you buy our product.
All right, there it is. And then, are you on social anywhere?
We are. If you go to Instagram, we're at Be Austere. If you're on Facebook, we're also at Be Austere. And if you're on LinkedIn, we're also at Be Austere as well. So those are our three main places. And then we are continuing to build out our YouTube. So Corey, much like you said, YouTube is starting to become such a big thing for us because of the education we can provide. So you'll learn more and more about our products and the features on our YouTube channel, which is also Be Austere.
Okay. Maybe I can create.
Oh my
some
God, look
content
at
for
all
you
the
guys.
names.
Yeah.
I know some of the people on the ring. Yay!
And look, they're already hating on me, talking about where's my name on the wheel, and I didn't make the spin wheel. Okay, Howard is in Montclair, Holland area. Okay. Yeah, see, I got y'all. I said I messed
I
up.
love it.
And,
Hi,
and
Frank. I see Frank. Hi, Frank.
the wheel is growing. Yes, the wheel is growing.
I love it.
All right, so which one do you want to give away first?
Let's do the clean and protect first. So we'll
Clean
do
and-
the $29.99, and then we're gonna do the $149 cable. So
Okay, so we're gonna do the clean and protect first, and our winner is going to be. Let's see what we have. Uh-oh, Trevor Nichols. Okay.
oh yay!
Trevor Nichols is going to, if he's not here, if anybody is watching and they know Trevor Nichols, I know him as well. He's in the SAS group. I'll make sure that we get his information. And I should have removed his name. So if he wins again, he's out. We'll do another. It cannot be Trevor Nichols that wins both
Same
products
winner.
tonight.
Correct.
So look, hit the spot says you passed me several times. I didn't pass anybody. The spin wheel did it. All right, so this is for the HDMI cable. Here we go. And it cannot be Trevor Nichols, for the record. And our winner is, uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Look at New York standing. Ooh, oh, awesome. What? Wow.
Oh yay!
Wow, did you see that line or where that was?
I did. Lisa Marie was so close.
I mean, look at that line. Like, wow. Wow. All right, so we got Awesome Wood Things and Trevor Nicholas. That is our two winners for this evening. Um, what do you say? No whammy. Yay. I love it. I love it. I love it. Would you like to say anything, any New Year resolutions, anything that you would like for your company to do, anything like that? Um,
Yes, actually, we just did this kind of internally. The team asked me what was our New Year's resolution for 2022, and uh, my main focus is to continue to drive better product and better service where you could look at us as a brand and say, wow, that is absolutely more than we ever expected. If we can do that, then we've done our job.
okay. All right, that's what's up. And you will be at CES, and do you know exactly where you will be at? If anybody
We
chooses
are
to
at the
watch it.
Yes, we're in the Venetian Suites. We are on I believe it is the 27th floor in room 227, which just makes me giggle. I love it because that's the easiest room you could ever remember.
227. Yeah, you're right. Hey, look, I know the
Great
Powerball.
room.
I know the Powerball is tonight for over $400 million, but that 227 is a great cash street number. Um,
It is a great one.
um, thank you, Deena. Thank you, Tall Boy. Awesome with things. Awesome with things, Trevor. Please put your shoot me a DM, and then I will forward this over to Sarah or Deena, and then we'll make sure that they get your product to you as we go into the new year. Okay. I guess that's it. So, all right, guys, that's the end of the show. This is well, I guess it's the end of the year. So, I mean, we talked a little bit, real brief, as a quick recap. Take care of your security. Honestly, let's honestly look at our passwords. We need to look at that. Let's go over our browsers and stuff like that. Just be mindful going into 2022. Think about those subscriptions. Do you want stuff to be charged and you're not using it? And then technology taught us a lot of things this year. So I think I'll be getting on TikTok, which I don't want to do, but I have to embrace it. And I'll be a little bit more on LinkedIn. So outside of that, it's the lab. Austere, Deena Ghazarian, thank you so much. I love the fact
Thank you,
that
tall
you,
boy.
you you broke this down in a language that everyone understood. The women understood. The guys complimented you. Everyone was just very impressed with your presentation, your packaging. Just thank you for just being who you are and willing to come to the show and share your product offerings with us.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're trying to make a difference. So, again, do not be shy. Share what you guys think to make it easier because, again, we're trying to make this as simple and as sexy as possible. So, any feedback is welcome.
I like that. Simple and sexy. That might have to be the new. Can I use that tagline right there? Simple and
A
sexy.
100% you can.
All right. Well, with that being said, y'all, it's the lab. We're out. Stay on, Deena.